Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about assemblies and mates. You can see here we've made a little cylinder, and in order to have an assembly you need more than one part. So what you do is go down here, hit the plus sign, and say create part studio to make a second part. You can see I've already done that. I have part studio number 2 here. I click on it, and in part studio number 2 I've got a wheel. So we've got our cylinder or our axle, and then we've got our wheel. Now we can sort of put those two parts together in something called an assembly. I'm going to go back to my plus sign and say create assembly. And now we get this blank space here. In order to start my assembly, I'm going to go up to insert. And you can see that we have these two parts to choose from. We could actually go up to other documents and choose from a lot of other things. But for now, we're just going to go, here's our cylinder, click, and now we've inserted it. Here's our wheel, click, move it over, now we've inserted it. Okay, so I'm going to check mark that. And so I want to talk a little bit about mates. If I select either of these, so I'm going to click my wheel, you're going to get some options to move this around and orient it on this in this space. So you can go up and down that way. We can go back and forth this way. We can go that way. So we have a few different things we can do. We can rotate it on different axes. And you can play around with that. So I'm spinning it. Okay. Fine. We've got our wheel. We've got our axle. Let's look at the simplest mate first, and that's right here, the Fastened Mate. And I'm going to click on it, and then if I go over and I found a space here, you can see this sort of circle lights up. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to say I'm going to put that point somewhere on here. Now, most of the time it's going to guess that you're going to want to put a cylinder in a hole like that, but I don't have to put it there. Let's put it there first. I'll find it, connect it to the middle. Let's move it though. Let's exit. What if it lit up? You can see it's a little bit to the outside. See where the circle is? And let's X that. Whoops. Let's try it again. Fasten Mate. From there. And let's put it somewhere else this time. This will make it easier if I'm looking at that this way. There. Check mark. And I put it kind of in the side. It usually needs like a point of some kind to figure out where it's going to go. But let's, and Fasten Mate just sticks it on there. If you can find other places, again, you might have to put a point like a little circle on it. Let's try there. That is somewhere inside. But if we put a point on the outside of this, we might be able to connect it to different places on here. Fine, let's X out of that. That's the Fasten Mate. Delete that. Hopefully it'll pop back where it was. And let's just go to another one. Here's the slider mate, a little more fun. And it's freezing on me. Refresh this. Okay. Let's try the slider mate. So I got an arrow pointed up. Pretty much guess what it's going to do. Let's find the center of our circle, our cylinder, and now let's spin this, and let's put that center in. And I need to click on the circumference, click it there. Now the neat thing here is that if I hit my arrow over here, watch what happens to our cylinder. It shows that it can slide back and forth. Let's see if we spin this around. hit that again. So it's showing that the cylinder can slide back and forth through there. Let's X out of that. And look at one more mate. So first we did the Fastened Mate, which just sticks things to one another. Then we did the Slider Mate, which allows things to slide back and forth. And now we have the Revolut Mate. So this will let things spin. I'm going to click here. It's going to be similar. I need to find the center. I highlight here. So now we're putting that point. I want it to go there. And it's not lighting up exactly in the center. There we go. I think that's it. And let's again spin it a little. And hit our arrow. And it's showing that cylinder spinning. I'm going to do one last thing. This time, when I use my Revolut Mate, instead of choosing my arrow first, I'm going to choose the wheel first. Makes a slight difference. I'm going to say put the center of that and match it up with that center there. And when we saw or hit the arrow now, it's the wheel that spins. So those are three different mates you can use, and a pretty simple way to use them.